I want you.
Hibiscus acid, closing of stomach.
स्टमक, यहाँ पर हम प्लांट की बात कर रहे हैं. प्लांट को स्टमक नहीं होता है, स्टोमेटा होता है. Stomata that allows the exchange of gases. You have seen it in the transpiration process. Huh? Okay. Okay, proceed. Carry on, Alina. Who are reading it? Alina, right? And what's next? Yes, nobody is able to read it. Closing of stomata and seed dormancy. What is the second one?
Cell elongation and differentiation of
elongation, cell elongation. And differentiation of shoots and roots. You know the shoot system is the one which you see outside the ground and roots are underground. So this is because of the auxins we are able to differentiate them. And what is the next one?
Cytokines.
Cytokines, very good. What is the function of cytokines?
Promote cells division, promotion of sporting of
lateral birds,
delaying the against in leaves, opening of stomata.
Delaying the aging in leaves and opening of stomata. Okay, then what is the next one? Ethylene is for ripening of fruit. It is artificially used also to ripen the fruits. And the last one is gibberellins. And gibberellins helps in the germination of the seeds, sprouting of the birds, elongation of the stems, stimulation of the flowering, development of the fruit, breaking the dormancy of the seeds and buds. Okay. So now let us see. Let us do an activity to understand the functions of these hormones in the plants. So what are we doing is we are taking a glass jar and we are filling it with the water, and there we take a bean seed and put it into it. Then we'll observe how the roots grow in it. After 4 to 5 days, what will we notice? We see that the seeds are growing when the jar is kept under the sun. And we see the growth of the roots in the downwards direction, whereas the shoot in the upward direction. Then tilt the glass jar and keep the plant horizontally in one side. And then what do you see? In this position, the roots of the stem both are parallel to the ground. Okay, so basically roots grows, we have said geotropism and phototropism. So shoot system jo plant ka hai, upper ka upper part, like you see stem, leaves and all that, that grows towards the sun. That is the reason we call it phototropism. Whereas the roots that is underground towards the gravity, we call it geotropism. So these two both are parallel. So now what are we doing when we have done it? Why did we do it in the glass jar? Can anybody tell me? Why did we perform that experiment in the glass jar?
Because glass jar is transparent, we can easily see how roots are going down.
Very good. Who has answered this?
Arbaz.
Arbaz, very good, very good. So we have done it in a glass jar to see how the geotrophism and phototrophism takes place. And then we have turned it, and then we wanted to see how does it grow parallelly, when we are tilting it. And then after 4 or 5 days, what do we observe if we keep a plant in this position? We have found that the roots that are potted bend towards the soil and the stem of the plant bends upwards away from the earth. So हम अगर इसको ऐसे position में भी टेढ़ा भी रख देंगे, तो you will find that the roots are pulled towards the gravity and shoot is moving towards the sun. Phototrophism. Okay, तो आप कितना भी उसको टेढ़ा, कुत्ते का दुम टेढ़ी होगी तो वो हमेशा टेढ़ी रहती है, बोलते ना, अगर उसको आप ऐसे उल्टा भी कर देंगे तो then also it will do the same. So this is Dr. F.W. Wendt. He succeeded in separating this influence from the plant that is produced. It went by cutting off the coleoptile tips of the oat seedlings. He used the oat seedlings and he has cut the top tip of the plant. And then what did he observe? Then he cut the agar into smaller blocks and placed a block on one side, and each stump of the decapitated stem tissues in this position. Are you able to understand this? He has kept this agar and he blocked, and what he did, agar block was placed on it, on one side of a bending shoot. And what was his observation?
Okay.
He placed it like this. And then he has observed that then he has observed that there is a distinct sort of bending in this agar block. This agar block that has not been in contact with the coleoptile tip produced either no bending or only a straight bend towards the side on which the block has been placed. So what he has seen is, ये ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है कि हम ये shoot को phototrophism नहीं देंगे तो it will start bending. वहां पर agar block रख दिए उन्होंने so that वो थोड़ा bend हो जाए. So he thought that if it is kept like this will start growing towards the gravity,
Ground.
soil के तरफ चले जाएंगे, ground के तरफ, he thought, but it did not happen. It remained like this only. इसकी growth वहां पर रुक गई. So then what was the conclusion? Do you all think the scientist must have come to by this? What do you understand by this experiment?
Shoots कभी भी ground की तरफ grow नहीं होते बोलते.
Yes, it has the chemical stimulus rather than the physical. अगर अंदर से hormonal stimulus उसको ज्यादा जरूरी है, that is required for a plant than physical. आप ऊपर से उसके ऊपर वजन डाल के भी उसका direction change करना चाहेंगे तो वो change नहीं हो सकता है. Only the hormones, that the chemical substances that are secreted only will help them. So these chemical stimulus are called auxins. So tropic and gnastic movements in the plants takes place because of these movements. As you see, this individual plant like Mimosa poetica, it shows this because of this external stimuli. And we even see this tropism or tropic movement. And sometimes, we even determine the directions of this stimuli. You can just, it is a very interesting one. If you can go to a botanical garden, you can observe how this Mimosa poetica works. And this growth of a creeper plant, we have seen that cucumber and bittergourd, how it is bending towards the theotrophism. And then phototrophism towards the sunlight. We see the growth of the shoot system towards the earth, and geotropism towards the sunlight in phototrophism, and geotrophism is towards the earth, towards the gravity, which we see roots are geotrophic and shoots are phototrophic. And plants that grow near the rock or the wall sides, all roots are growing in one direction, away from the rock or wall, where water is available in the soil. So we call it hydrotrophism. जहां पर पानी होगा, अगर wall और rock रहेगी और उसको पानी नहीं मिलेगा तो will not see the growth of the roots. उसके roots सिर्फ एक ही direction में जहां पानी है वहां जा रहा है. And sunflower is purely phototrophic. जहां जहां भी sunlight move होगी, it will go. And cucumber and bittergourd are a best example of thigmotrophism. They have got a weak stems and they wait for something, hence they cannot play a vital role and they cannot remain erect. As soon as they get some support, they start climbing and creeping on them. So this type of movement is called as the thigmotropic movement. It moves towards the support and the wind around it. So this type of response to the touch is called thigmotrophism. As soon as it touches something, it takes the support and start growing. So all this is because the gibberellins, auxins, or the various type of ethylene hormones that are secreted by the plants. And the movement of the plants to the response of the water or the chemical substances is called as the chemotropism. This is also when we see the fertilization of plant, you will see how the ovule is moving towards it. So this ends your class, and we are going to we all congratulate Arbas for getting selected in the regional science fair for his project. And now we are going to discuss about his project. So Arbas, can you please tell me what exactly your project is about?